So about a week ago, I dropped 20 through 9 of my coaching candidates, and last week it was pretty much all no's except for a few players or a few guys that I said I did like. This week, towards the beginning of the video, it's going to be a few no's, but then we're going to start getting to the guys that I really, really like and guys that I just absolutely want as a Texans head coach. Now, let's get right into it with number 8. I got Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is currently the Eagles' defensive coordinator. And again, like I said, with pretty much all the other defensive guys, I said, who are they going to hire as their offensive coordinator? Do you trust them? Now, Jim Schwartz, I do like his defense. It's been playing pretty well this year. Like look at the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I mean, they played pretty well this year. So I wouldn't mind him or his defense. I don't think it will be a very bad defense because I do think the Texans have less talent than the Eagles on defense, other than obviously linebacker and maybe secondary and like the safety duo or something. But like their pass rush is fierce. They have Cox, Malik Jackson, Javon Hargrave, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett. Like the Texans don't have that fierce pass rush. Their secondary, I mean, they have Bradley Roby. He's good. They don't have a Darius Slay, though, and Avonte Maddox. So, it's kind of like the same defense. It's different because the Texans, they definitely have a better linebacker duo and, like, a better safety duo and things like that. But the pass rush for the Eagles, it's nowhere close to as bad. I guess the Texans' pass rush is nowhere close to how good the Eagles' pass rush is. So, pass rush plays a big part in this, man. So, is Jim Schwartz really that good? He's a no for me because, again, he's a defensive guy. So, yeah. Now, number 7, I got Tony Romo. Now, Tony Romo is definitely an interesting one. But again, this guy has not coached a day in the NFL. And maybe he's not good. Maybe he is really, really good. But you can't take a gamble on some of these guys. This is the most important coaching hire for the Texans. And you just cannot, go after a guy like Tony Romo. Go for the safe guys. Go for the guys you know are good. So yeah, no to Tony Romo. But he is definitely an interesting one. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. Now, Tony Romo, again, of course you can't take the gambles, but is he really going to want to give up his job in ES or CBS? Is he really going to want to give up his job? Now, think about it, cuz Tony Romo, he's getting paid millions of dollars to just commentate. He has a stress-free job. If he coaches, he's not going to have a stress-free job. He's going to be paid probably less. And he's not going to have, like if you're a commentator, you don't have to do that much. You just have to commentate. He's going to have to coach. He's going to have to hire people. So Tony Romo is probably not even going to leave his job. Now, number 6. I got Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. This guy, he's good. He is good. But he's somewhat kind of inexperienced for me. And I think I still have to see a little bit more because last year that Chargers offense was not that good. Well, now look at what he's doing with Justin Herbert, man. Justin Herbert is exploding. He's playing very good ball. Justin Herbert, he might be rookie of the year, guys. And Shane Steichen is a big part of that. Look at their offenses. Two good receivers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. The Texans have that. They have a better receiving core. I mean, other than Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, Chargers really don't have anybody in their receiver core. Texans have Cobb, Cooks, and Fuller, and Stills, and maybe QT can be something. Um, so yeah, of course he has a better tight end. He has a better running back. Well, I really can't say that because his running back Austin Eckler really hasn't played that much this season. His offense is still pretty good, but yeah, our O line is way better. Our receiving core is better. Our quarterback, I mean, I like Justin Herbert, but Watson's better. So, well, imagine what he could do with Watson. He'd be a good hire for the Texans. Keep an eye out for Shane Steichen from the Chargers. He's pretty good. He could be something good for the Texans. Again, in my opinion, I just have to see a little bit more from him. I think he's good, but I have to see a little bit more. Now, number 5. I got Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich is the OC currently for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I mean, all throughout the years, Byron Leftwich has done a good job. Byron Leftwich, he's pretty good, man. Byron Leftwich, his offense right now, they're playing pretty good. They're playing really good. The Buccaneers, their O-line isn't as good as the Texans' O-line. Their running back core, even though it's not that good, it's probably better than the Texans. Deshaun Watson, he is better than Tom Brady. Their tight end is probably better, because any tight end is better than the Texans. Tight ends, and I mean the receiving core is kind of the same. They have Antonio Brown, they have Godwin and Evans. Texans have Fuller, Cooks, and Cobb, so it's kind of the same. So Byron Leftwich, he would be able to do good stuff here in Houston. Another guy on here, but how much of that is Bruce Arians? I think a lot of it is Bruce Arians. So, I mean, we'll have to see, man. Bruce Arians, dude's amazing. Is that all Byron Leftwich? And there's good stuff to come with Byron Leftwich. It means Bruce Arians he's been under Bruce Arians' wing for a long time. And, Bruce Arians could have taught him some things. So, that's interesting about, Byron Leftwich. Very interesting guy. I think he'd be a good hire. But again, there are some negatives with him, or I guess some questions with him. And in my opinion, he is, I have to just see more from him. I have to see that it's not Bruce Arians and that it is him. So yeah, I think he'd be a decent hire, but there are better people. Next guy. Number 4, I got Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley is the only college head coach I think is worth looking at. And honestly, Lincoln Riley, he is the complete opposite of Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien, it was like, it's my way. You got to adjust to me. I'm not going to adjust to you. You got to learn my offense. You can't learn anybody else. You have to learn my offense. You have to master my offense. I'm not going to, adjust to you and adjust to your play style. Lincoln Riley, he will adjust to your play style. Look at the 3 quarterbacks he's developed. Jalen Hurts, run first QB. Kyler Murray, balanced QB, can do it both, kind of like Deshaun Watson. And Baker Mayfield, pocket passer. This dude knows how to make it work with anyone. And I guarantee you, if he had Mitchell Trubisky, offense probably wouldn't be that good, but he'd make it work with Mitchell Trubisky. It would be like a decent offense. He is an offensive mastermind, and I think he'd be a great hire. But there's one small problem with him. He's a college coach, man. Will he be good in the NFL? Probably. So I think he'd be a good hire, but there are some guys that are like lower risk and could are potentially better than him. Now, number three, I got Matt Eberflus. You know how I said that you can't get defensive guys? Well, this is the only defensive guy I'd be okay with. Not even be okay with. I'd be like really, really happy if the Texans got this guy, Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus's defense is amazing. Colts defense is very good, but their talent is not that good, man. They don't have much talent on that defense. Other than DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard, everybody else is not that good. Xavier Rhodes, he was so bad in Minnesota. He's playing good in Indy. Malik Hooker, he's a bust, but, he's plays decent on the Colts defense. But, he's always hurt, and he's really not that good. He doesn't play that good, but he's okay. Marvell Tell, he plays pretty good. What's the other guy? Kenny Moore, he's not that good. He's still, and this Colts defense is still pretty good. Rocky Asen, he's not that good. The Colts defense still plays good, even though he's starting. Other than DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard, he really has nothing to work with. DeForest Buckner, he's one of the best defensive players in football. Same with Darius Leonard, but other than those two guys, the next guy is, I guess, Justin Houston. He's decent, but he's not like the guy he was a few years ago back in KC. But this defense still plays pretty good. I mean, it's disciplined, it's good, and this guy would be able to bring an amazing defense to Houston. Think about that 2016 defense, that 2012 defense that the Texans had. They were really good defenses. So, Matt Eberflus will bring that back. But again, I do like him. I think he's one of the best hires. But there is a small problem with him, and that is, who is he going to bring in as his offensive guy? And that's the only question with him, because this guy is good. He is going to bring good defense to Houston, because guess what? The Colts, they don't have a Bradley Roby, a Garyon Conley, a Justin Reed, an Eric Murray. Yeah, they don't have an Eric Murray. They don't have a Jacob Martin, a Ross Blacklock, of course, I'm not going to say they don't have a Zach Cunningham, because Darius Leonard's pretty good. But yeah, they don't have those guys, man. Everybody on that Colts defense, other than the two guys I just mentioned, Buckner and Leonard, they're not that good. Except for maybe Justin Houston, of course. But yeah, this guy, he's good. Next guy, number 2, I got Eric Bieniemy. This is going to shock a lot of people that, what? Eric Bieniemy's not your one? Yes, he's not my one. But he is good. I mean, there's really nothing that I can say that hasn't been already mentioned by the media and other guys. Of course, he's, that KC offense. And a lot of people say he's got a lot to work with on the KC offense. He does have a lot to work with, but not as much as he has to work with in Houston. He has a better run game and, of course, a better tight end. But Watson is just as good as Mahomes, if not better. The Texans O-line is way better than the Chiefs O-line. Their receiving core is better. Other than Tyreek Hill and Hardman, Chiefs don't really have anyone, and they don't really use Hardman. Robinson and Watkins, they're just other guys. The Chiefs' offense, other than, of course, tight end and running game, they don't have as good as an offense as the Texans. So this guy would be able to bring in a dominant offense and a really, really good offense that just is Deshaun Watson's offense, and they wouldn't try to run the ball 100 times a game. Because the Chiefs, they have a good running game right now with Edwards-Helaire. Last year, they didn't really run the ball that much. Yeah, maybe on first down early in the game they would hand it off to see if they got something going there, but they would just pass the ball all day long because they had scrubs at the running back position. If the Texans, for whatever reason, don't cut David Johnson, for whatever dumb reason, he's not going to try and run the ball with David Johnson like Tim Kelly is. So this guy, who would be able to bring a good offense to Houston, and yeah, I think he'd be a good hire for the Texans. Now, number one. This is the guy I absolutely want as the Houston Texans head coach, and that is Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. Joe Brady, dude is amazing. Last year, what did he do in LSU? Oh, maybe he got Justin Jefferson drafted in the first round, Edwards-Helaire drafted in the first round, Joe Burrow drafted in the first round. Maybe that's what he did. This year, that Panthers offense, it is kind of like the Party City version of the Texans offense. Because more Samuel and Anderson, they're not as good as Fuller, Cooks, and Cobb. Of course, they have a better tight end because anybody's better than Fells. Of course, they have a better run game with McCaffrey and Davis. But other than that, Watson's better than Bridgewater. The Texans' O-line is better than the Panthers' O-line. The Texans' receiving core is better than the Panthers' one. So, yeah, I mean, Joe Brady, dude, is amazing. Joe Brady, he'd bring an amazing offense to Houston. Joe Brady, he is the guy, man. He is the guy. With Eric Bieniemy, how much of that is Andy Reid? With Joe Brady, you can't say how much of that is Matt Rule. You can't. Joe Brady, this is the guy, man. This is the guy. He'd be able to give Deshaun Watson like 12 rings, and he'd bring in a new guy once Deshaun retires, and the offense wouldn't miss a beat. Joe Brady's the guy, man. I like Eric Bieniemy. Do I like Matt Eberflus? Eric Bieniemy? Yes, I think they would be good hires. But Joe Brady, he is the guy, and I don't want the Texans missing out on Joe Brady, especially for a guy like Robert Saleh or Josh McDaniels, because if Easterby doesn't get fired, which he will, then, yeah, it might be more of the same. But yeah, I will be making a video like this week about, the whole Jack Easterby situation with the Romeo Crennel stuff. But yeah, these are my guys 9 through 1 or 8 through 1 that I want as a Texans head coach. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my video. See you guys in my next video.